Hey YouTube, this is Mark from Northeast Indiana. Welcome to my shop. If you are viewing this video and have not yet viewed my shop tour, oh by golly, that's an exciting video. You might want to go check that out. No, I'm serious. It's just a tiny little shop I got up here in Northeast Indiana. What am I talking about? Anyways, today I want to take you along on a project that I am excited about, something that I've made for some co-workers that they've really appreciated. It's really simple, and it involves this. Now, what is this? Well, that is a stick. Some of you might say that is a piece of lumber. Maybe some of you would say, well, that's a 48-inch by 1.5 inch. All you woodworkers out there are wondering if you can pause the video and actually check those dimensions out. But what it is what's called a tobacco lath. A tobacco lath. Now, this particular tobacco lath came from an Amish farm, and it's retired. It is done with all of its duties, but real quickly, what they would do as they're harvesting tobacco, they'd cut the tobacco leaves off, and then they would set them down, stack them on top of laths like this, and then they would go and hang this up in their barns, allow that tobacco to cure. And I came across several of these for just an unbelievable price, and I decided I was going to use them for different projects I have, and one of these turned out to be this. Yeah, so what we're going to make today is a pumpkin out of this 48-inch piece of wood. I don't even know what kind of wood this is. Maybe it's popular. It's a popular poplar type of wood. I think that's what the person I got it from thought it was. I have no idea what it is. I do know that if I sand it down, it's got a little bit of a yellow residue, and I don't, or yellow color. I don't know if that's from the residue of the tobacco or not. But what I'm going to do, first of all, as you saw in that little picture of the completed project, I'm going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces out of this. It's going to be a 7-inch piece, 2 6-inch pieces, and then 3 4-inch pieces. And that's going to really give me what I need for the pumpkin, as well as 2 braces on the back. And I'll have a little section of this left over that I'll just hang on to and use for something else. So let me get busy cutting these, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. This is so simple. You could cut down strips off a 2x4. You can buy craft pieces of wood in Lowe's, you know, and just run them through a table saw, whatever you want to do. But I use this because it's nice and rugged. I don't finish this in any way. I don't sand it, don't plane it, don't trim it. Only thing I do is cut down the sizes, and then obviously I get that finished product. So let me bring you along for that ride. So I could use this sled, crosscut sled on my table saw. However, I find I can knock them out pretty quick on this bandsaw. From the blade to the edge of the table, 7 inches, to the edge of this tape, roughly 6 inches. You can see I'm really particular. And then 4 inches from this edge of this tape to the blade. And the beauty of this project is that if you don't get it exactly like within super tight tolerances, it's okay. We want it to look kind of rustic, and so you do want to try to always do your best. But you know, if you make something 6 7/8, it's gonna be all right. Let me get busy cutting this. So I've got my 6 pieces of the pumpkin created. These 5 are actually the pieces that I'm going to use to make the body of the pumpkin. Let me bring you in and kind of show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so this is the pumpkin. The edges are sanded. You can kind of see what the stem of the pumpkin looks like. I've cut the 2 pieces that are gonna go on the back. They're gonna go just like this, roughly. I'll glue them. I'll use a pin nailer just to secure them so that everything is glued, and I'll throw a couple pins in that, and then it'll be ready for paint. So there you have it. Just glued it, pinned it. That will actually sit on the table, whatever. It'll lay flat or stand right there on my hand. It's magical, awesome. But that's it. I'm gonna paint this orange. I've got 2 different shades of orange. I'm gonna paint it. I'll spare you the details of watching that. That glue's gonna dry up, secured with the pins here, and everything is gonna be held together well. Once this is all dried as far as the paint goes, I will attach the stem and show you what the next steps are. Okay, welcome to my paint booth. I've got 2 different colors of orange. I'm going to start with this darker one. I'm not going to paint this entirely. Like, I'm not going to be so concerned that everything gets super covered, because I want some of that contrast of the wood to bleed through. So basically all I'm going to do is hit it like this. Make sure the edges are got some orange on them there. Say pretty particular here. Give a little bit of contrast. And you can kind of see, I want this wood to kind of come through here on this. So I'm going to let this dry. Probably go in and get dinner. But while I'm doing that, prior to doing that, I'm going to stain that stem with some Danish oil. And then I'll be able to pin it right on there and use some glue for that as well. That's about it. I'll make sure I just darken this a little bit. And that's all I do with that. I'll pick all these little fuzzies off of there. There you have it. A pumpkin stem. So the pumpkin's not yet 100% dry. Pretty dry though. I want to show you what I do. Just want to get an idea of how I want this stem to go on here. And the way I fix this is with some CA glue. This is the accelerator. And then I'll just secure it with a couple pins as well. Get an idea of exactly where I want it. An idea about how far up I can go with the glue. Don't have to be super particular. Basically, this is just a super glue. Gotta get that spread around there a little bit. Turn that over. Oh, shoot. Well, normally I would have hit that pumpkin with some accelerator. Yes, watch your fingers. Normally I would have hit the pumpkin with some accelerator and that would have dried just like that, but this will dry pretty quickly as it is. There you got it. Pumpkin is basically complete. I'm gonna let that finish drying, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to put onto the front of this. The customer I have wants a bat and a ghost, and going to use some craft pine that I purchased at Lowe's for that. So I'll be right back once I get those figured out. All right, I've never done this before as far as having this on camera. What I have here is just some craft pine, I believe it's pine, from Lowe's. This is a 3-inch block. I'm gonna draw a cat on this, or a bat on this. I'm sorry, probably have 2 of them. I might do a small one and a big one, and then a ghost here. So bats to me are pretty easy to draw. For some reason I thought I was drawing a cat. I had a bunch that I had to do cats on. Let me just cut that in half. Make sure that I'm still in frame here. So a bat's wings, I kind of envision them coming down like this, and then down like this. And this is as rough as it gets. And I got a head here. I usually put some pointy ears on it. I don't know if bats have ears or not. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's going to be bat number 1. And maybe I'll do a smaller bat, maybe about here. Same thing. I come down, cut my middle there. You say, Mark, how in the world is that going to turn out? I don't know. We'll go over to the saw and find out, right? That's my bats. So let me go cut these out and see what they look like. There they are, 2 little bats. Gonna take them to the paint booth, paint them up, and we'll be ready to go. All right, while those are drying, I'll do my ghost. So I always think of a ghost, kind of looks like a pear. You can see I'm really artistic. And then generally I'll have a hand coming up here. And maybe we'll do another one on this side. And we'll go over to the bandsaw, cut this out. That's gonna be my ghost. So there we got it. I got the first coat on this ghost. Typically I just do the edges really quick, put a coat on there, and then once it's dry I'll use another coat on it. I have no idea what this paint is. Some sort of oil-based paint. Got it at Lowe's, I believe. So I'm gonna let that dry, check on my bats, see if they're drying, and we will be wrapping this project up faster than you can say Happy Halloween. Okay, so I think I've got all the parts fairly dry. The backs of these bats are evidently not. I'll be careful in placing those. But basically I'm going to set them on this pumpkin, put a couple bats here, put the ghost over here, and then I'll touch them up with some paint, probably bring you in on that, but basically we're about done. I will be using this CA glue, and hopefully I'll remember to use the accelerator, and I'll be pinning them on there. So let me get to arranging this, and then once I've got them attached, I'll bring you back, kind of show you everything wrapped up. So I've got these glued and pinned on here. Just going to put another coat on the ghost. And that kind of covers up those. The pins don't really have heads, but it kind of covers up where those pins are at as well. And then after all of this dries, I'll paint some eyes or something on this ghost. And depending on how that dries, I may put one more coat on there. We'll see when it's done. And then even though the bats look pretty good, I do like to cover up where those pins are at and just kind of put a coat, very light coat of some paint on here. I think this is some sort of acrylic. Yeah, it's an acrylic craft paint. I spray painted them at first, and then with this acrylic paint, kind of gives them a little bit of a shine as well. And once everything is dry, I will put a coat of lacquer on there. So we'll see what that looks like once everything's dry. Well, there you have it. Very, very simple build. Stands up on its own. Made out of 48-inch piece of tobacco lath. That's it. Tobacco lath, 4 foot long, cut down into a few pieces. Real kind of rustic, cute fall project, Halloween project, however you want to look at it. And literally, apart from the paint drying, probably easily completed within an hour. Obviously, you gotta let the paint dry, you gotta let the lacquer dry, you got all these things. But very, very simple to make. Hope it gives you an idea. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. Anything that you feel like I need to improve on, that'd be great. But I just want to encourage you to get out to your shop, try something new. This is just something that just came right out of my head. I saw some guys working on some other types of pumpkin projects. Nothing like this. I actually posted it online in some groups that I am a member of on Facebook, and everyone was like, oh man, we really like that. It's kind of a unique take. Very simple to do. And I don't know how many of these I've made. I'm hoping this is the last one, to be honest with you. I've probably made 2-3 dozen of these things, it seems like, and haven't made a dime off any of them. I've just been giving them away. So get out to your shop, try something new. Don't be afraid to fail, because more often than not, you're gonna succeed. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.